This number could multiply to over a billion users by the end of the year, according to some plans that Safemoon team is working on behind closed doors. Sounds like a tall order, right? Well, make sure to watch this video all the way to the end as I unravel Safemoon's groundbreaking strategy. Trust me when I say you don't want to miss this. Disclaimer. What's going on, Safemoon Army? We would like to thank you for checking out the channel today. In this video, we will be discussing Safemoon's recent plan that will help deliver on more billion users in the ecosystem. Although this will result in significant earnings for holders, it is also a rather ambitious aim. So, how exactly does Safemoon want to make this work? Well, it's a rather straightforward yet effective approach. Watch the video to find out. Before we get into today's video, I would like you to please consider hitting the subscribe button and turning on the bell icon right beside it. This is the best way for you to stay current with all most recent news and updates in the world of Safemoon and stay ahead of the market. With that out of the way, let's get into today's video. Before we get into the issue today, I wanted to let you know that Safemoon Swap had listed a new project. This project is called MedFX and is a pretty new project that just recently launched a few months back. Despite the fact that young MedFX has already made some really impressive advancements, with approximately 50,000 active participants in its metaverse on launch day, and from looks of things, this number is going to increase furthermore. The MedFX team is really big on advertising and marketing, which means that Safemoon Swap is bound to get significant influx of users with the launch of this project on Swap. Due to the fact that MedFX is a metaverse project and possesses an idea that is fairly original, I believe that it would be an interesting addition to Swap. When the metaverse really takes off in a few short years from now, metaverse projects will be the core of the blockchain industry. Hence, I believe that it will be a really positive thing when metaverse initiatives begin to make their way to the Safemoon exchange. Those that hold it will benefit in the long run. If you were active in the Safemoon community the day before, then you must have noticed that there was a lot of talk about the Safemoon blockchain. Even though it has not been launched quite yet, Karoni did reveal some crazy updates about what the team is working on and developing behind closed doors. Alright, let's get into the main news. Karoni discussed particularly building for billion users as well as the approach followed, which was Blue Mines. There's a great deal to go over. But as is my custom, I'll break it down into manageable chunks so that you can comprehend everything completely. To get things started, let's look at a message that John Karoni posted in Twitter not too long ago, which served as a first clue. Here's what he had to say. Do you aim to build a blockchain for thousands of billions users? The cryptography you use for blockchain is important. It can affect a chain's TPS, which is transaction per second, also known as speed and scalability and more. From Karoni's message, it is clear that the team is thinking really big. What the Safemoon developers are building is not a blockchain that will cater to many thousand or many millions of users. Safemoon is pondering the possibility of accommodating billions. It therefore makes sense why it's taking quite some time to get blockchain off the ground. Karoni mentions just a couple of things that the team is currently working on, and you'd be mind blown when you found out what they are. In other words, Safemoon is looking to implement a blockchain that will be used all over the world. The first one, as we can see from that tweet, is cryptography. The principal application of cryptography on a blockchain focuses on ensuring the safety of both the participants and the transactions. Additionally, the cryptography helps to prevent double spending and reduces the influence of central authorities on business operations. Furthermore, cryptography is what makes transactions on blockchains irreversible, which provides users with a peace of mind that they can rely on the accuracy of the digital ledger. Because it has an effect on the platform's ability to scale, developers take extra precaution to ensure that cryptography is correctly implemented at all times. Although Karoni didn't particularly reveal how the team is going to do that, it's obvious there's hard work being done in this area now. Add this to the security feature the team has been working on. Cryptography allows for limitless transactions to be recorded securely in the network, which is why it's so critical to a blockchain scalability. It's no wonder therefore what Karoni said in his tweet, if Safemoon is building for billions of users, then cryptography is crucial. When it comes to regulation, a lot depends on other party, and until they give you clearance, it doesn't matter what you do until they give you the green light. This can be difficult to understand when you're not on the inside and instead waiting to receive the blockchain you were promised, but the truth is that when it comes to regulation, a lot depends on other party. They obviously aren't here to play in the minor leagues, but that's not even all. There's another aspect of building. It is important to keep in mind that Safemoon is a company, not a project. As such, you should expect the team and leadership to conduct themselves differently than the crypto projects you are familiar with in the industry. The days of overhyping and announcing every small update aren't long gone, but professionalism is the name of the game now. Of course, it's easy to think that Safemoon has run out of steam because it feels like there aren't any new updates coming from the team. Plus, Safemoon has a presence in many countries all over the world. They're a significant accomplishment for a company that's less than 2 years old and ones that you can take to the bank. Having said that, it is not out of the question to wonder when Safemoon is finally going to grow into that potential you know that it has. In the following segment of this video, we are going to take a look at an intriguing discovery that could possibly hold the key to addressing this vital question. Just before we took a break, someone asked us a question about the Safemoon and when it will reach the fullest potential. While this may seem like a difficult metric to track, all we really need to do is to chart Safemoon's progress against a device known as the Gartner's Hype Cycle for emerging technologies. In accordance with the cycle, newly emerging technologies can be broken down into 5 distinct stages. First, there's the innovation trigger that brings the technology into the world while it is not very visible, similar to how Bitcoin was not very visible in its early years of existence. As word spread and expectation grow over time, the murmurs gain momentum and build into crescendo, which is Gartner's second stage, the pinnacle of overly optimistic anticipations. People have a tendency to apply it optimistically to see everything they see, which causes a great deal of misunderstanding regarding the definition of the original technology. The peak indicates the height of this confusion. There is no one technology that can solve all of the business problems with a new business springs up and try to turn their ideas into reality by moving from proof of concepts to full-scale implementations. It frequently turns out to be far more difficult than anticipated to put into practice a new disruptive technology in the real world. The new technology must integrate with a large number of existing systems, which frequently calls for a comprehensive redesign. It also calls for the retaining of both employees and customers. These challenges slowly push the notion that the technology will never work or is too difficult to deal with. When enough people have given up, however, but the dedicated keep working in dedication, the technology begins to rise again, this time not with the irrational exuberance of its early years, but rather with a sustained release. It's clear from this explanation that Safemoon is still undergoing the trial of disillusionment. Nevertheless, we are getting closer to the end of this phase, and a lot of people have already given up on the Safemoon, and a lot more people will, so you can anticipate more sell-offs and more fraud. Despite this, there's no cause for alarm because every new technological development goes through this stage. Hodlers will be the biggest gainers in all of these as long as Safemoon keeps learning and applying what it has learned. But hey, this is not a financial advice, it's just an opinion, so make sure to do your own research. With that said, I'd like to know what you think about Safemoon's plans to get billion users in the Safemoon ecosystem. Feel free to drop a comment down below and I'll be sure to check it out. If you found this video was entertaining, please click the like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. This will help me improve my ranking on YouTube. If you consider yourself a true Safemoon fan, then you absolutely need to see this video. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.